This episode is brought to you by William Hill's Final One Standing. Can you outlast the AFTV crew? Step up or step out.
AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date. Your players will be linked with a transfer move to Arsenal.
To AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that be linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Big weekend coming up for Arsenal. We go away to Anfield, Liverpool. We haven't won there since 2012. Absolutely massive, massive game. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. Can't wait for it. We could see 4 new signings start that game. And that's how significant this summer's transfer window has been. Madueke probably going to start instead of Saka, who's injured. Zubimendi in midfield. Victor Gyökeres up front. And Eberechi Eze could make his debut in that game as well. So just goes to show that the signings that we've made this summer, very significant. Number one in starting, in Zubimendi and Gyökeres, they're definite starters. And also Madueke, coming in probably for Saka, just goes to show that you need squad depth. I mean, normally we'd be fearing the worst missing Saka, but we know that Madueke can do a great job out there. So looking forward to that game. On that, actually, don't forget Final One Standing. I've gone for... I've still got a little bit of time at the time of me recording this show, but I've gone for Man United. They better not let me down, man. But Man United for my Final One Standing today. They're at home against Burnley. If you want to get involved, click the link in the description. You've got to be over 18, got to reside within the UK or Ireland, and terms and conditions apply. Please gamble responsibly. Remember, you have to make your pick before 12:30 today. If you miss out, don't forget there's the weekly league starting back next week, and I'll give you more details of that. Well, I'm running out of shows, but I'll give you more details of that on Monday. But the big news is Piero Hincapie to Arsenal. The deal has been done. It's got a here we go from Fabrizio Romano. That deal is 100% happening, subject to his medical, which he is having this weekend. And Hincapie will be the 8th Arsenal signing this summer. Brilliant business, again, by Andrea Berta and his team. The deal breaks down a bit like this. It's a season-long loan to begin with a buy option. Interesting that. Not an obligation, but a buy option. So that's very interesting. Don't know the full details of the option, but that's what David Ornstein, who broke this story exclusively yesterday, is saying it's a buy option. The full package is worth around about £45 million. So that's the full package that we'll be paying for him. Once you take into account all the add-ons and everything like that, it will be worth £45 million. There's a 10% sell-on clause included in the package. That's probably how Arsenal have managed to get around not having to meet the full release clause of Hincapie. And these things will come into place once, he's sold, or if he's sold in the future. And there's also going to be a deal. The deal, is also going to be a 5-year permanent deal, which, of course, will come into action once all the options have been met. So that's the deal. Essentially, as I said, it's a season-long loan to begin with. I guess that within that fee, Arsenal have paid some sort of loan fee for the season, and then the rest of the money will be paid next year once they've taken up that option to buy him. Also very interesting about this deal is that it's rumoured that Piero Hincapie and his agent waive their percentage of any future sell-on clause, which is said to be worth probably, they probably giving up around about £5 million, based off of a clause of 10% sell-on. So, they were desperate to get the deal done. Another player who's desperate to come to Arsenal. We've seen it with Eze, desperate to come to Arsenal. Victor Gyökeres, desperate to come to Arsenal. And now Piero Hincapie, top player, can play as a centre-back, can play as a left-back, won the league with Bayer Leverkusen, and this is a very, very good signing for Arsenal and a very, very capable player indeed. And again, more quality being brought into the squad. On his way out of Arsenal, though, is Jakob Kiwior. He is now joining Porto. That deal has sort of been in place for the last couple of days, but couldn't move until the Hincapie deal was sorted out, which it has now been done. This deal breaks down roughly as a £1 million loan fee that's going to be paid upfront by Porto, with a £15 million obligation to buy, but the total package with all of the add-ons works out to around about £24 million, and there's been a sell-on clause included in that deal as well. I'm not sure of the details, the full details of the sell-on clause, but there's a sell-on clause included in that. So roughly around £24 million for Jakob Kiwior, and he is joining Porto. And a good deal for Porto, a good player, a good deal for Arsenal. They really wanted to try and achieve around about 30 million, but they weren't able to do it. But they have included that sell-on clause. So if he is moved on in the future, Arsenal will get a big chunk of, well, hopefully a big chunk of whatever that fee is. So, you know, sometime in the future, they'll get some more money for this deal. I was working it out, and this is just approximately, but the net spend for getting in Hincapie, when you take into account Kiwior going to Porto, is going to be roughly around £21 million. So roughly getting Hincapie for around about £21 million if you kind of work out the net spend, which is not too bad. Not too bad. Again, Berta working his magic in the transfer window. And he's saying, according to all the rumours, that he's looking for more. He's not done yet and is looking for more deals, possible deals, before the transfer window closes on Monday at 7 p.m. One player that has been mooted, and I say this very loosely, I've seen this in a few places, Ollie Watkins, that Arsenal are exploring the possibility of trying to bring in Ollie Watkins on loan. I just see this as highly unlikely. Ollie Watkins, of course, just been selected for England. I know we were after him in January, but I just cannot, especially the plight at the moment that Aston Villa are in. You know, I can't see them letting possibly their best player go out on loan before the end of the transfer window. And also, Ollie Watkins is going to want to play. I mean, I know we've got the injury to Havertz, and Havertz has had the surgery and looks like he's going to be out for roughly about 3 months. But Ollie Watkins, he ain't going to want to be sitting on no bench in a World Cup year. So I really, really doubt that one. I've seen it mooted in a few places, but I doubt that one. And Berta also working to get deals sorted out for Bukayo Saka and William Saliba. Remember, they're yet to sign their long-term contracts, but that's said to be, once the window has closed, his top priority to get new contracts for those two, and those are the two top players that we've got. People talk about, I was sort of having this argument the other day with a fan who was saying that we're really poor sellers. The problem that Arsenal have got is that they've got really saleable players now, but they don't want to sell them. You know what I mean? I mean, how much would they get for Saka? How much would they get for Saliba if they sold those players? They get monumental amounts of money, and that goes for most of the sort of team now. But those are not players that they want to sell. So, Fabio Vieira is a player, however, that they are trying to sell, and Stuttgart have said to have ramped up their attempts to try and get this deal done before deadline day. We know that they've been interested now in trying to get Fabio Vieira now for quite a few weeks. They're also said to be 3 other top European teams that are interested in signing Fabio Vieira. So expect a deal to be done for him before the end of the transfer window. And I spoke yesterday about Arsenal sending out some of the young players on loan before the end of the transfer window. Confirmed yesterday that Ismail Kabia, the 19-year-old, is being sent out on loan. He's a Dutch player, plays as a right winger, and he's joining Shrewsbury Town on a season-long loan. We've loaned players to Shrewsbury before. I think it was Charles Sago Jr. Yeah, I remember he went on a previous loan spell to Shrewsbury Town. So good luck to Ismail Kabia, who's going to be out there on loan. So those are the rumours today. Big one is Hincapie signing for Arsenal. Big business, and looking forward to welcoming him in to the Arsenal fold, the Ecuadorian international. And let me just leave you with this thought, right? On this day in 2016, Arsenal signed Squadron Mustafi from Valencia for £35 million. We've come a long way, a long, long way in how we're signing players and the quality of players that we're signing. So far, so good. Could we get some more in before the end of the transfer window? Keep it locked here and you'll find out here on Transfer Daily. Subscribe and I'll see you tomorrow.
You lot are always in the comments saying that we don't know ball. Well, now it's your chance to prove it. We've partnered with William Hill to bring you Final One Standing. The rules are simple. Pick a Premier League team every week. Win, you stay in. Lose or draw, you're out. But you can only pick each team once. It's free to play. You need to have a William Hill app to play, so scan the QR code on the screen or hit the link in the description below to get involved. 18 plus, UK only. Please gamble responsibly. Terms and conditions apply, and full terms are in the link below.
Don't worry if you get knocked out. There's new games with new jackpots every Premier League week.
Let's see who's the final one standing.